You ever feel like you're running on fumes, like you're running a race you didn't sign up for? And no matter how hard you push, the finish line keeps moving. That was me a couple years back. I kept telling myself, just grind it out one more week, and then I'll rest. But that week turned into months. And before I knew it, I wasn't just tired, I was empty. Burnout had me in a chokehold. My drive was gone. My sense of humor was gone. Hell, even looking in the mirror felt different, like I'd lost the guy I used to be. And here's the thing nobody tells you: burnout isn't just being exhausted. It bleeds into everything. Your work suffers. Your patience with your family snaps. Your bank account starts to feel the squeeze. And your peace of mind, gone before you even realize it's slipping away. In this video, I'm laying out the 7 toughest, most expensive lessons burnout smacked me with. No fluff, no rah-rah Instagram quotes, just the real-world stuff I had to learn the hard way, so maybe you don't have to. If you're tired of the BS advice out there and want straight talk that actually works in real life, hit subscribe to The Truth MD, because this isn't just about staying productive, it's about getting your life back. Stick around. What you hear today might just save you from smashing headfirst into that same wall I did. And trust me, the crash isn't worth it. Push through. I'd sit at my desk, hunched over, shoulders locked up like steel cables. My chest felt like someone had cinched a belt 2 notches too tight. My head pounding like the bass drum at a Metallica concert. Some days I'd read the same email 3 times before the words even clicked. Deadlines slipped right through my fingers and in the working world. That's like throwing $20 bills out the car window at 70 miles an hour. Doctor visits, prescriptions, therapy sessions, insurance barely covered half, and the rest straight out of my pocket. Meanwhile, I was saying no to projects and even a promotion, not because I didn't want them, but because I just didn't have the gas in the tank. It felt like my income had sprung a slow leak, while my expenses were flooring it. Night, when I was staring at my budget, feeling my chest get tighter. My so-called savings plan meant nothing if I was running my body into the ground. It's like ignoring the check engine light. You can keep driving for a while, sure, but sooner or later you're not topping off oil, you're buying a whole damn engine. Hard and flipped the script. I scheduled a rest, like it was a meeting with my biggest client. 30-minute breaks, every day, no phone, no doom scroll, just stepping outside, breathing real air. I guarded my weekends, Saturday mornings, and became untouchable. No, just 5 minutes of work. I ran an energy audit if a project was going to drain me more than it paid. I passed or I renegotiated. I set a sleep curfew. Lights out at 11. No, just one last email after 9. I fueled smarter real food. Caffeine cutoff at 2 p.m. Slow burn over quick jolts. It was like I swapped my beat-up engine for a brand new one. My focus came back. I stopped snapping at my crew. My family got the better version of me. And the crazy part, my income started climbing again because I finally had the bandwidth to say yes to the right opportunities. Man, you can always make more money, but you can't buy back the years you hand over to burnout. I ask you to be honest. When's the last time you checked your own engine light? Drop a comment if you've ever ignored it, and tell me how far you got before the wheels came off. The brakes on burnout and started putting my health first. I thought, all right, man, now I'm back in the driver's seat. No late-night emails. No back-to-back Zoom marathons. I was ready to live it up golf on Saturdays. Maybe finally fix that squeaky garage door that's been driving me nuts for 5 years. Around. I woke up and nope. My body felt like it was made of wet cement. Just walking to the mailbox felt like I was trudging uphill with a backpack full of bowling balls. My head was buzzing, not the good 2 beers and kind, more like a radio stuck between stations. Hey, let's grab dinner. I'd glance at the couch like it was a life raft and say, "Oh man, can't tonight. Gotta, rotate the tires." And no, I didn't rotate the tires. Still collecting dust. Laundry, piled so high it could have qualified as a national park. Freedom isn't about how many hours you've got on the clock. It's about how much gas you've got in the tank. You can retire early, but if you've run yourself into the ground getting there, you're not cruising the coast. You're sitting in the driveway, too wiped out to even turn the key. My energy like my paycheck. Guard the mornings. No inbox until I've had 30 minutes for myself. Coffee on the porch. Listening to the neighborhood wake up. Sometimes I stretch. Sometimes I just stare at the squirrels like it's the Super Bowl. No fly zone after 8 p.m. No high-stress calls. No urgent work texts. Evenings are for winding down, not revving up. One fun thing a day could be 15 minutes on the guitar, throwing a ball with my kid, or calling that one buddy who can make me laugh so hard I wheeze. Energy checkpoints midday, I ask. If my energy were cash, how much do I have left? Am I blowing it on junk or investing it in something that pays back? Refuel before empty, small breaks before I crash. Like topping off the tank before the gas light comes on. The change was insane. I wasn't just getting more done. I actually had gas left over for the fun stuff. Saturday morning golf. Back on. Garage door. Fixed. And yeah, laundry pile still big, but no longer Mount Everest. Fellas, time is useless without the horsepower to enjoy it. Protect your energy like it's your retirement fund. Spend it where it grows. Invest it in what fuels you. And for the love of all that's holy, stop blowing it on stuff that leaves you stranded on the side of the road. What's your biggest energy leak right now? Drop it in the comments. Let's compare notes and see if we can patch some holes before the tank runs dry. Gas back in the tank, I thought, all right, I've cracked the code. This is it. But here's the trap I didn't see coming. Yeah, I had more energy, but I was still running the same race, same track, same finish line. My only scoreboard was work. If I nailed a big presentation, felt like I just hit a walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth. Or my idea got shot down in a meeting. The whole stadium went silent, and in my head, I was walking off the field with my head hanging, like I'd just blown the World Series. My confidence, even my sense of worth, all tied to numbers and decisions I didn't fully control. And fellas, that's a dangerous game. Because when your only scoreboard is the office, every loss feels like a season-ending injury. It was 10:45 p.m. I was sitting in the blue glow of my laptop like it was holding me hostage, shoulders knotted like rope, eyes stinging, brain buzzing like a dying phone battery. And I thought, man, if this is the only place I feel valuable, I'm in deep trouble. Boards. I dusted off my old guitar. Couldn't remember half the chords. Fingers felt like sausages, but hitting that first clean note felt like a breath of fresh air. I signed up at the local food bank. One Saturday morning, I spent 2 hours stacking canned green beans and boxes of pasta and left feeling more useful than I had in months. I got back into cooking, nothing fancy. Just making spaghetti with garlic bread and filling the house with that smell you can't help but smile at when you walk in. A bad day at work didn't take me down for the count anymore, because I had other ways to win. And here's the kicker, when I stopped betting all my self-worth on that one scoreboard. I actually got better at my job, played looser, took smarter risks, didn't flinch at the idea of striking out, because it wasn't the end of my season. Challenge to you, man to man. If work disappeared tomorrow, what's left that makes you feel alive? If you can't answer, start small. One hobby, one cause, one project that's yours where you keep the score and you make the rules. It's not just winning at work. It's knowing you've got more than one game worth playing. Brother's scoreboard. Drop it in the comments. You might give another guy the push he needs to find his... I told you how I built more than one scoreboard, so my whole sense of worth didn't live and die at work. But here's the hard truth. Fellas, those extra scoreboards won't mean a thing if you let people wander onto the field whenever they feel like it. I used to leave the gate wide open. Every hey, can you just... got a yes. Extra shift. Sure. Late night Zoom. Why not Saturday emergency? That wasn't really an emergency. You got it. My calendar looked like a yard sale, everybody dumping their junk on my lawn. Before my brain did, jaw locked up like I'd been chewing gravel, shoulders glued to my ears, stomach doing backflips. I'd crash into bed at midnight, but my head kept replaying other people's to-do lists. By morning, I felt like I'd been hit by a truck that I never even saw coming. Friday night, out with friends at my favorite burger joint. Halfway through my burger, perfect bite, lined up my phone buzzes. Urgent text from work. Without thinking, I push my plate away, step outside, and spend 20 minutes fixing a problem that could have waited until Monday. Fries were cold, beer was warm, and the conversation had moved on without me. That's when it smacked me in the face. I wasn't living my life. I was just on call. So I built my fence. Draw the line, no work calls after 7 p.m. No email in bed, period. Install a gate. When someone asks for my time, I don't blurt yes. I say, let me check and get back to you. That pause is my filter. Post the signs. My team knows I'm offline Sundays. My buddies know I don't text back during morning coffee. Change the locks. If someone keeps ignoring my boundaries, I stop giving them access. Once I put that fence up, people still came around, but they knocked first. Walk through my front door. My brain actually comes home with me. Evenings are mine again to cook, laugh, watch the game, or do absolutely nothing without feeling like I'm falling behind. If your life's your house, don't leave the porch wide open for strangers to wander in. Build the rail. Put up the gate. You decide who gets a key. You need to install this week. Drop it in the comments. You might just give another guy the permission he needs to build his... I told you about living within your emotional budget, knowing when to say enough so you don't end up overdrawn. But here's the kicker. Even if you spend smart, your system still needs maintenance. Ignore that, and you're just one bad week away from a full-on breakdown. Caught me. It didn't stroll in and tap me on the shoulder. Nope, it came in like my whole dashboard lit up at once. Check engine. Low oil. Overheating. I'd been wearing a too small life vest. My legs felt like wet sandbags. My brain, like someone had stuffed it with cotton balls. At the screen, trying to answer one email, and the words just wouldn't line up. My hands shook, just holding a coffee mug, and not because I needed more caffeine. I kept telling myself, one more push. You can do it. That's like hearing your engine knock and turning up the radio so you don't have to hear it. Morning. I'll never forget. I bent down to tie my work boots, got halfway through, and just sat there on the edge of the bed, staring at the floor. It wasn't, I'm tired. It wasn't, I need coffee. It was empty. Nothing left in the tank. I had to step away completely. Weeks without a paycheck, Dr. Bills piling up, and the long, slow, frustrating crawl to get my health back. Trust me, that repair bill was a hell of a lot steeper than any weekend off would have been. Rest like an oil change, scheduled, not optional. I don't wait for the smoke to start pouring out from under the hood. Here's what my pit stops look like. Non-negotiable downtime at least 1/2 day a week where I'm not on call for anyone. Phone on silent. No, just checking in emails. Mini pit stops every 90 minutes. I step away for 5 minutes. Stretch. Breathe. Let my eyes look at something that's not a screen. One unplugged block 2 hours a week with 0 screens. No phone. No TV. Just something real cooking. Walking. Maybe even fixing something in the garage. Early warning check. I ask myself, do I feel lighter after sleep or heavier? If it's heavier 2 days in a row, I scale back before I crash. Fellas, rest isn't a gold star you get for good behavior. It's the pit stop that lets you actually finish the race. Skip it. And you're not a hero. You're just the guy broken down on the shoulder while everyone else blows by. When's the last time you shut it all the way down? Not half working on vacation. Not scrolling yourself to sleep, but engine off. Full stop, rest. Because in this game, you don't win by going the fastest. You win by still being in the race when everyone else is burned out. We talked about how rest is like routine maintenance, and it keeps you from blowing the engine. But here's the thing, fellas, sometimes an oil change isn't enough. Sometimes you've got to swap the whole damn car. I'd taken time off, got my breath back, felt the tank fill up again. Through those glass doors, the smell of burnt coffee, those buzzing fluorescent lights, the same voices barking about urgent deadlines, my shoulders locked up like I'd been wearing armor all night. Before I'd even sat down, my chest was tight, my jaw clenched. It was like my body knew before my brain did. We're back in the war zone. You can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. It's like trying to fix a leaky boat while you're still out in the middle of the ocean. You might patch one hole, but the water just keeps pouring in. Scared the hell out of me. I changed course completely. New company, new team, new way of working. That constant knot in my stomach, gone. The Sunday night dread, vanished. I even caught myself standing taller. And that's when I realized, man, I've been walking hunched over for years without noticing. Industries, or even departments feels risky. We tell ourselves it's starting over. Like that's a bad thing. But it's not starting over. It's moving your money out of a sinking stock and putting it somewhere it can actually grow. Wrong place. Watch for these signs. Your body knows before you do. Tight chest, clenched jaw, shallow breathing, just thinking about work. Every day feels like firefighting no matter how much you rest. You come back just as drained. You've stopped looking ahead. You're not building a future, just surviving the week. Here's how to start moving without blowing up your life. Get curious, talk to people in roles or companies you admire. Ask what their day-to-day feels like. Test drive new lanes, pick up a small freelance gig, shadow someone, or volunteer in a space that sparks your interest. Line up your runway. Save enough to give yourself breathing room during the transition. Retirement or unlimited PTO. It's having the guts and the plan to choose an environment that fuels you instead of drains you. The best way to calm the storm isn't to find a bigger umbrella. It's to pack up, get off the beach, and head somewhere the sun's already shining. If you could swap the car tomorrow, what would you be driving and where would you be headed? Drop it in the comments. You might inspire someone else to find their road out. I told you how sometimes the best fix isn't a beach vacation. It's packing up and finding a new place to work, somewhere that doesn't chew you up and spit you out. Once I made that move, I realized my whole definition of success had been upside down. I measured life in paychecks, promotions, and whether the boss gave me that little pat on the back in the hallway. Now, I measure it in Saturday mornings where I flip pancakes without checking my phone, in waking up without that pit in my stomach, in weekends that don't feel like a quick pit stop before Monday's race. Money matters. I'm not telling you to sell the farm and go live in a cabin with a goat named Earl, but chasing every last dollar at the expense of your peace of mind. That's like selling your house to buy a shiny sports car. Sure, it turns heads, but where are you sleeping when the weather turns? Real rainy day fund. You don't wait for the storm to start saving. You add to it, little by little. So when life throws you a curveball, layoffs, sickness, family drama, you've got something solid to fall back on. Deposits. Rebalance the books. No more letting work eat 100% of my time. I budget for family dinners, time with friends, and hobbies that don't care about deadlines. Pay yourself first, 10 minutes every morning that belong to me before I touch a phone or email. Sometimes it's a quiet walk. Sometimes just coffee and stillness. Cut the bad investments. I stopped saying yes to people and projects that drain me faster than they pay me back. Build a cash reserve for your brain. 1 day a month, fully offline, no calls, no quick check-ins, no news. Let the tank fill back up. I started protecting my peace like I protect my 401k. I actually got better at making and keeping money. No more stress shopping at 10 p.m. No more taking gigs that suck the life out of me. Fewer dumb decisions, because I wasn't running on fumes. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I'd add, and make sure the basket you do have isn't full of holes. Was a portfolio, how much of it is tied up in high risk, high stress stocks that leave you wiped out, and how much is in those slow, steady bonds that keep you grounded? Because the earlier you invest in peace, the richer your life will be, and trust me, that's interest worth collecting. I want to see how many of us are ready to trade in a little flash for a lot more freedom. The hard way: money, freedom, and peace of mind aren't 3 different trophies you collect. They're like the 3 legs on your kitchen stool. Snap one, and you're eating dinner on the floor. Cash, and still feel dirt poor if your energy's shot and your head's a mess. Those are the currencies that worth living. And here's the kicker. You wouldn't torch your savings on junk you don't need, so why burn through your days on crap that doesn't matter? And run the numbers on your life budget, not just your bank account, but your hours, your headspace, your joy. Are you making solid investments, or are you bleeding out and don't even see it? Comments. The hard lessons, the gut punches, the man. I wish I'd known this sooner moments. Someone out there needs to hear it. You. Don't just click away. Hit that subscribe button and join us at The Truth MD. This is where we swap the hustle for hustle's sake for living with some damn sense. Keep all 3 legs of your stool solid so you're not just standing, you're unshakable.